everyone for coming to today's workshop again. It's nice to see you guys all. So today we're going to have a workshop on test-taking tips for the SAT. And before we get into that, I just wanted to do a quick Kahoot. This Kahoot's going to be on the writing and language section of the SAT. And it's only 13 questions long, but it's definitely some good practice before we dive into things. Okay, good job. Yeah, so for this one, it's talking about the otters, and then increasing the otter population is definitely more clear than. Okay, so here are 3 methods for the SAT reading section. Method 1 is you can first skim the passage. And so skimming is something that I personally recommend. It effectively helps you get a sense of the main ideas. So you look at the introduction and then skim it and then look at the main sentences of each paragraph. And then you look at the conclusion. And then after you go on to the questions, and it's helpful to answer the big question first because you have the overall point and main idea in your head, and then you can go back into the passage to answer the detailed questions. Okay, so now for the SAT writing tips. So it's definitely important for the grammar section to memorize the grammar rules. There's a variety of grammar rules that the SAT tests. So for example, the SAT is all about concision and just saying things and saying phrases in simple and concise ways. And they also really love, like, for example, verbal phrases, which is like verb plus preposition pairs. So it's definitely important you can like go online or go on Kyros to review those concepts because they definitely come back over and over for each.
Okay, so the first tip for SAT math is focus on filling out your own content gaps. So if you have a problem with some of the basic math skills, it doesn't matter how many SAT questions you practice. You have to learn those skills first before you can improve your score. So practicing the questions will help you gauge where your knowledge gaps are, but then it's important to work on the content separately before you do anything else. And that's the fastest way to improve your score. And finally, just memorize the formulas. Although SAT does provide you with a lot of formulas in the front, flipping back and forth to those really will just kill your momentum during the test. There's also a lot of helpful formulas that they don't actually give you. So along with memorizing all of those up there, there's such as the really just quadratic formula and then all the geometric formulas like that. It's really good for you to remember those so you can work extremely quickly during your test. So sometimes looking for the specific wording in the questions also important. Because this one's simply not just how do you characterize Lady Carlota? It's how do other people characterize her? So that will also help you to look for evidence in question 4 that could lead you to an answer in question 3 if you're working backwards.
Mm-hmm. So you guys do suggest looking at the evidence first before making a decision on question 3, or?
No.
No.
No? Okay.
But it's last resort. If you seriously have no clue for question 3, first try to take out some options from question 3. Right away, you can probably cross out B and C. And if you're choosing between outspoken and unfriendly and you seriously have no idea, then you can look at the evidence to see which one supports which one more.
Okay, that's helpful. All right, thank you.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, just remember that I'll post the answer explanations on the slides, so feel free to review those when you guys have time. And then I'll do that for all the other practice tests, so you guys can just check over your